everybody, it's James here from GoodGuitarist.com with another nursery rhyme for you. Today we have Looby Loo. There's going to be another one every other Monday until I release 24 nursery rhymes. And to accompany these, I have a booklet on my Patreon page. It's a kids songbook that has 24 kids songs and nursery rhymes in 2 keys each. There's also a chord chart available for each of these tunes, all on my Patreon page. So if you need something printable that you can follow along with, you can read the rhythm, the chords, the tab, it's all there. Anyways, we're going to get started with this one. This one's just 2 chord shapes. First we have A, and then there's E. And if you're not familiar with these shapes, I have a free ebook. It's completely free for all my subscribers that goes over all the fundamentals of acoustic guitar. And it comes with all these videos, and it'll train you up to be able to make those chord switches confidently. I also have a complete beginner's course, which is a guided tour from absolute beginner to confident strummer. I'll put links to all that stuff down below if you need extra help with these chord shapes, A and E. Otherwise, we're gonna jump right in and practice strumming them with downstrokes only, just so we can work on the switching a little bit, counting out the tune. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go, Looby Loo. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Your right hand out, 2, you give your head a shake, 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 and turn yourself about. So make sure you can do that downstrokes only, counting along. It's even a good time to practice singing the song since the rhythm is so simple. There's no strumming pattern yet to kind of put you off the rhythm, because when you're singing, there's a rhythm to it, right? Strumming rhythm, singing rhythm. It's a bit too much sometimes, so when we're doing downstrokes only, we can practice singing it with the chord shapes. Anyways, once you can do that, we can take a look at the strumming pattern. It goes like this. So that is down, down, up, and we have to pay attention to the counting here. The counting for this song goes 1 and a, 2 and a. It's not like normally it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But in this song, 1 and a, 2 and a. We have a downstroke, 1 and a, and then we go 2 and a. So the downstrokes on the numbers, upstroke on the a at the very end. And if we count it slowly, we can add the strokes to our counting. 1 and a, 2 and a, down, down, up. And then you gradually speed it up. 1 and a, 2 and a, until that's comfortable. And I have a course, Strumming Made Simple, which goes over this as well as many other common time signatures. That's what it's called, the way that we count. And tons of different strumming patterns, how to play while singing at the same time, how to identify hearing strumming patterns and being able to figure it out yourself by ear. That's all in there. I'll put a link to that down below. The course is called Strumming Made Simple. Anyways, once you're pretty comfortable with that strumming pattern, we can put it together with the chord shapes. And it goes like this. 1 and a, 2 and a, 1 and a, 2 and a, 1 and a, 2 and a. Here we go, Looby light, a 2 and a, 1 and a, 2, 1 and a, 2 and a, 1 and a, 2 and a, 1 and a, 2. You put your right hand in a 2 and you take your right hand out and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and shake it all about a 2. So that's the chords and strumming, and we're going to play this with a backing track later in the tutorial. But first, we're going to take a look at the melody. We're going to break it down phrase by phrase. The first phrase goes like this. So the first note of our melody is the second fret of the G string. And we want to make sure we're playing it with the tip of our finger because the next note is the second fret of the B string. And the easiest way to get there is to roll our finger down. I'm just taking my elbow out a little bit to roll my finger. So we have our first note on the G string, and then I roll. And I want you to try that, just rolling back and forth, because we're going to be using that technique a lot on this tune. Anyways, our first couple notes, we have the second fret of the G string. We're going to play it 3 times. And the counting would be 1 and a. Then we roll up to the B string, second fret, and then we come back to the second fret of the G string. So then we play the open high E string. So take a second, take a look at the notes, then we'll play them together slowly. 1 and a, 2 and a, 1 and a, 2 and a, 1 and a, 2 and a. The second phrase goes like this. So it's the exact same thing, except the final note is the open B string. So let's try that now. 1 and a, 2 and a. The next phrase is the same as the first one. And we've already practiced that. So moving on, the fourth phrase. And if you learned Hickory Dickory Dock a couple weeks ago, that bit of melody is also in that tune as well. We're on the high E string, we go O, 2, O. Then on the B string, 3, 2, O. And I'm using my middle finger for the third fret. Then the second fret of the G string. So string by string, O, 2, O, 3, 2, O, 2. So take a second with that one, and then we'll try it together slowly. 1 and a, 2 and a. The next phrase is pretty simple. It goes like this. So I'm starting on the second fret of the D string, and I'm going to be rolling over to the G string. So make sure that you use the tip of your finger. D, G, 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 G. And that's pretty straightforward. From there, we go to the B string. Same rhythm, but we're going O, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So that's all on the B string. O, 2. So those two phrases are pretty straightforward. Let's play them together. 1 and a, 2 and. And a, 2 and. The next phrase. So it starts off with the same kind of thing. We're going from the third fret of the B string to the high E string. Then we play the second fret of the thinnest string. So let's get just that part. From there, we're going to play the high E string, open, and then the second fret on the B string and the second fret on the G string. And I'm putting my finger down in a way where the tip of my finger is on the G string. Even though I'm playing the B string first, I'm preparing to roll down. You know, if I use the tip of my finger there, there's nothing left to roll. So we actually put our finger a little bit higher. That lets us roll down. Let's just try those 3 notes. Open high E string, and then those 2. Second fret of B, second fret of G. Putting that phrase together, I'll just give you a second to go through it, then we'll do it slowly. 1 and a, 2 and. And the final phrase. Pretty simple. On the B string, O, 2, 2, O, O, and then the second fret of the G string. So take a moment with that, and then we're going to put this entire melody together nice and slow. A 1 and a 2 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 and So at this point, we've practiced the chords and strumming, we've practiced the melody. Now I have a backing track that you can practice anything over. So you can do the chords, strumming, the melody, whatever it is. And it's not too fast, not too slow. Gives you an opportunity to get the feeling of playing along with somebody else. So here we go. So that's how you play Looby Loo. Don't forget to check out that chord chart on my Patreon page if you'd like a printable version of all the stuff from this lesson. There's also that kids songbook that has 24 children's tunes in 2 keys each, and I'll be releasing a new video covering one of them every other Monday. If you need any extra help with the fundamentals, I have my free ebook, which goes over all the basics of acoustic, strumming, chords, that kind of stuff. I have my complete beginner's course, which takes that a step further, guides you through the entire process, through switching chords, learning songs along the way, adding strumming patterns to it, putting it all together and being able to play some tunes by the end of it. So please check that out if you'd like to help support the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Otherwise, have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.